It's the 6th and final softball contest on this Champions Weekend in Conway. For the 4th time this season, the Lincoln Lady Wolves and Hackett Lady Hornets will go head-to-head, but this time one team will lead with their first title in program history. It's the 3A State Softball Championship on Arkansas PBS Sports. Welcome into Ferris Field at Natalie Schock Stadium alongside the former Razorback Sydney Parlee. I'm Dorian Kraft. They say it is hard to beat a good team 3 times in the same season, but Sydney Hackett will look to make it 4 wins in a row over the Lady Wolves. And the Lady Hornets, they have outscored Lincoln 19-2 over the course of their 3 games this year, including a 7-0 win as recently as May 3rd in the regional final. But those scores, they don't really tell the whole story.
And for Hackett, 3 wins are 3 wins. But for Lincoln, they were missing Brinkley Morton in the circle. She was not 100% in those 3 games due to injury, and she is a key component for this Lincoln squad.
Brinkley Morton will get the start tonight, the Mississippi State commit. She is the engine that makes this Lincoln team go.
And oh, is she. She hit her 700th career strikeout during districts. And since districts, that strikeout count has increased, and her velo is her main weapon in the circle.
Brinkley Morton typically hitting 67 to 68 on the gun. We will get into her repertoire as this game goes along. On the other side of the field, for Hackett, they have finally broken through into their first state championship appearance, stymied in each of the last 2 seasons in the state semifinal. A big reason for their appearance this year is Mackenzie Freeman.
And for Mackenzie Freeman, the Tulsa commit, she is explosive offensively at the plate and is a fierce competitor on the rubber.
Hackett and Lincoln getting set to do battle here in this 3A state championship. A 7:05 start from Ferris Field here on the University of Central Arkansas campus in our 6th and final softball state championship. Hackett in the black and gold jerseys. Lincoln will be sporting the white and maroons. This is how the Lady Wolves starting batting order is going to line up. It is Hannah Remington in the leadoff spot, followed by Brinkley Morton, who does it both in the circle and at the plate. Kristen Ryan, Amber Bryant hitting the 4-hole tonight. Morgan Rice, Addie Pershall, the highly ranked 2025 recruit. Lauren Remington, Zella Pomeroy, JC Province, and Paige Beeks is the flex playing right field, not batting tonight. And they once again will be going up against Brinkley Morton, 16-5 on the season. They will be going up against Mackenzie Freeman, 170 innings pitched, 65 hits. She is 28-2 on the year. 29 runs, 10 have been earned, 256 strikeouts on the season compared to just 40 walks.
And the 10 earned runs only allowed in 170 innings pitched, but what Lincoln can expect to see from Kenzie Freeman today is she's gonna sit in the low 60s. She's very crafty with her spin. She heavily relies upon her drop ball, occasionally will utilize the rise ball to offset the batter's eyes, and then she likes to pull the string on her changeup.
Freeman incredibly tough to score against, a .412 ERA on the season. First pitch from Ferris Field, misses low for a ball. Expect runs to be at a premium today. That one tapped over to the left side, right to the third baseman. Strong throw over to first by Bryan to record the first out.
And for Kenzie Freeman, relying upon that drop ball there to get the ground ball out.
Freeman in the circle. Taylor Nichols is behind the plate. That was Morgan Coryell over at third. You have Ava Thornburg at first, Lily Oxford at second. And the sister duo, the pitchers and the shortstop, that is Mikey Freeman, the sophomore, in at short. Left to right around the outfield for Hackett, it is Province, Remington, and Beeks, the flex player, out in right field. Stepping into the box for Lincoln, Brinkley Morton. Our first look at the pitcher for the Lady Wolves as that one skips away. Brinkley Morton hitting .468 on the year, 44 hits. Off the outside corner, lifted, but it will hang up. It's playable out in center field for Lainey Coryell. And there are 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
And 2 quick outs Kenzie Freeman has already gotten for her defense. Let's take another look at this pitch. This is a rise ball that just stays on the outer part of the plate. And for Brinkley Morton, being aggressive, she goes after this pitch, just gets a little bit too underneath it, lifting it out to Corell in center field.
Kristen Ryan, 406. First pitch strike on the outside corner. Ryan, 43 hits, 10 doubles. Lots of pop in this number 3 spot. Does have a triple, no home runs. This is a Lincoln team that has only hit 14 on the year. Off speed, tapped over to the left side. 1-2-3 inning as the Lady Wolves go down in order in the top of the first inning. Hackett will come to bat in the home half. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I was actually right behind Jimi Hendrix's bell bottom there.
So the 70s fashion blocked your head out of this photo.
Exactly.
From bondage to battle.
What do you make of him?
It changes the game for my family.
I wish the American public understood war the way warriors understand war.
It's not just another job. You're going in a hot area and someone's gonna die.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. It's going up in here! Let's go!
Welcome back to Ferris Field, bottom of the first inning here in the 3A state championship game between Hackett and Lincoln. Lady Wolves went down in order. Now the Lady Hornets will go to work. Morgan Coryell leading things off. The second baseman, Lily Oxford, batting in the 2 spot. The Freemans, as first pitch put into play right to the shortstop. And a quick out recorded as Coryell is retired. We didn't even get through the batting order, but it is the Freemans going 3-4. Tyler Nichols in the 5 spot. Lainey Coryell, Ava Thornburg, Callie Reether, and Ava Bartmeyer rounding out the starting 9 for the Lady Hornets. Take a look at it again there on the left side of your screen. And they will be facing Brinkley Morton, 123 innings on the season, 83 hits as a first pitch swinging, slapped down the left field line foul. Morton has allowed 48 runs, 30 have been earned, 37 walks to 228 strikeouts on the year with a 1.7 ERA.
And for this Hackett offense, they are a contact hitting team. They are going to be aggressive early on in the count. And for Brinkley Morton, she has some juice behind her pitches. She sits in the upper 60s. She likes to utilize her changeup to offset that fast velo. She likes to stick to east and west with the screw and curve, and she also has a drop ball.
Tried the curve there on the outside corner, misses wide to count 2-1 to the number 2 hitter in the Hackett lineup.
And Doran, we have already seen some very quick balls put into play thus far in the game.
There's another one right at the shortstop on a line. That was Remington on the money. 2 away.
And for both of these offenses, they are both extremely aggressive offenses from 1 through 9. That is the name of their game. This is a screwball on the inner part of the plate that for Oxford, she fouls off early on in her at bat.
The first of 2 Freemans in the lineup. This is Mikey Freeman, the shortstop. McKaylin is her first name, prefers Mikey. 571 average on the season, 56 hits, 35 singles. That rise ball stays up. 8 doubles, 6 triples, 7 home runs. So half of the home runs on the season for Hackett have come off of the bat of Mikey Freeman.
And for this Hackett lineup, the top 4 hitters, it is a stiff test to face against these top hitters with the on-base percentage that they display and the ability to consistently get on base.
4-pitch walk delivered to Mikey Freeman, so Hackett has their first base runner of the evening. Kenzie Freeman will step in now, trying to help her own cause. Mackenzie Freeman, 537. You think it's a sisterly competition about who has the higher average as she swings through the rise ball?
I'm sure there's some smack talking, some good sisterly competition, but what an experience to be able to play with your sibling. I always think that is so cool when sisters get to play with each other.
We've got a handful of siblings here on both of these sides. For Hackett, you have the Coryell sisters, Morgan and Laney in the starting lineup. You have the Freeman sisters as well. On the Lincoln side, there are the Remington sisters that are also playing. So a lot of players getting to share, Sydney, that experience that you were talking about.
And something that's even to add on to the coolness of that is Hackett Coach Morton. He talked about coaching a competitive travel ball team in the Tulsa Elite organization.
That one put into play in left field. It is on the turf, squirting away towards the left field line. Freeman being waved around, and Hackett strikes first here in the bottom of the first inning.
And this is what Hackett does best. They're aggressive at the plate. They put good, short, quick swings on pitches. This ball is an up-and-out pitch that Freeman so perfectly gets her barrel to, driving it into left field. And for Province over on left field, just couldn't get underneath that ball as it was diving down.
J.C. Province trying to make the play out in left field. That ball slicing away, a tough play to come up with, as Kenzie Freeman knocks home the first run, giving herself a little bit of insurance. Have a courtesy runner in for Freeman as well. That is number 1, Leighton Holbert. First pitch fouled back into the screen. Taylor Nichols now, the battery mate of Freeman, trying to bring in the courtesy runner. Nichols, .337 average on the year, 32 hits, 7 doubles. Goes after the rise, fouls it back into the screen. Morton trying to limit the damage here in the bottom of the first inning after Mikey Freeman was able to draw a 2-out walk, and her sister brought her home with a double. The 0-2 off the outside corner, stays outside.
And let's take another look at this purpose pitch that's on the outer part of the plate, being up 0-2 in the count. That's a good layoff by Nichols.
1-2, fouled back. Morton did throw against Hackett in that regional final, but the Lady Wolves had to play extra innings in the game before, so Morton not as crisp as she normally would be. Drop ball, that had some bite to it as Morton able to get out of the inning, keeping the Hackett lead to just a single run. The Lady Hornets on top as we go to the second here in the 3A state final. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
There's this extraterrestrial quality to sperm whales.
Join me, and together we'll turn back the pages of Earth's past to reveal the amazing wonders beneath our feet.
There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than you might expect.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Action! Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family owned, customer friendly. Family owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. But look, everybody!
We never gonna stop.
The Arkansas Department of Health is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS Sports. Escape the vape. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org. Top of the second inning here on the University of Central Arkansas campus. Hackett taking the early 1-run lead and starts off Amber Bryan with a strike on the outside corner. There's a look at Lincoln Lady Wolves head coach Brittany Engel. talked to her before the game. She was really upbeat about the way that her team was playing coming into this game and the feeling. She said, we're just a bunch of goofballs. We're out here having fun.
And that's how you have to be. And she also talked about just being honored to be here, understanding what this means, what they're working towards, and just the excitement that comes along with it.
This is a Lincoln team that was bounced from the postseason in the first round last year. Thought their team had an opportunity to make a deeper run than that, and so really made it a focus this year coming into the season as the 1-2. Swung on and missed the first strikeout of the day for Freeman. But it was really a point of emphasis to make it to this point this year.
Absolutely. And, you know, to talk about the postseason that they had this year, let's take another look at this pitch by Kenzie Freeman. Just the drop ball that stays more up in the zone. The ability that she has to throw her drop ball at 2 different planes, higher in the zone and then lower to get the chase pitch. That is her bread and butter.
Morgan Rice, the DP, standing in.
But to talk about the first game of this postseason this year, I think it really set the table for the rest of their postseason state tournament run with the win against Mayflower 3-2. That Mayflower is an extremely good team, and I just think that that game right there set the precedent.
Lincoln topped Mayflower the first round 3-2 as that one in the turf. Then they beat Genoa Central 6-4 in the quarterfinals before topping DeWitt 5-3. So not exactly an easy path, but certainly some substantial wins there as that's fouled off down the right field line. It's going to be playable right behind the first base bag. Thornburg has it 2 away. That is a difficult catch for Thornburg over there on the right side of the field, because the sun at this point in the day, Sydney, it is really streaming across the field, third base side to first base side. This is what it looks like over for those right fielder, the first baseman, the second baseman. That is really tough to play against.
It's very tough when the sun is on that part of the field, or just in general, just in your eyes as a defender. And the biggest thing is for the outfielders, it's keeping the glove, you know, shielded on your eyes when the ball's put in play. And it's just making sure that once the ball's put in play, you immediately get your glove up to block the sun.
You know, something that I've never really thought about until this moment, especially on the infield for the first baseman or the third baseman when the sun's on the other side. As you see there, that's Reith out in right field, has the sunglasses on for protection. This one tapped over to the right side, playable. 4-3, another 1-2-3 inning. We'll get to that thought in the home half of the second inning as the Lady Hornets come back to bat. It is 1-0 in favor of Hackett. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Just as a radio station is getting popular,
you know Peggy writes to that station twice weekly.
The DJ is electrocuted on the air.
I'm a woman alone, newly arrived in a dangerous town.
During a chess match, one of the competitors dies.
Lab found significant traces of poison on the White Queen.
But the team can't figure out how the killer did it.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect my family, and part of taking care of them is using a bank that takes care of us. That's why I use Centennial Bank, a strong institution for an uncertain economy. I know them and I trust them. They have a strong financial foundation, which means that my money and our future is never in doubt. Life is busy, and there's plenty of things to worry about. My bank isn't one of them.
Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Conway Regional Health System is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS sports. Since 1921, Conway Regional Health System has provided complete healthcare services to the growing communities of North Central Arkansas. For more information, visit conwayregional.org. Hackett scored an early run in the bottom of the first inning on a 2-out RBI double by Kenzie Freeman. As the Lady Hornets come to the plate here in the bottom of the second, it'll be Lainey Coriel, Ava Thornburg, and Carly Reither due up. First pitch ball on the inside corner from Brinkley Morton. There's a look at Coach Jeff Oxford, the head coach of the Hackett Lady Hornets, and he really talked about, Sydney, his team's journey to get here. It has been a journey. They made it to the state semifinals each of the last 2 years, could not get past that plateau, finally able to break through after falling to Boonville last year 3-2, and they really feel like this is their moment.
And he just talked about that loss to Boonville. That just set the example going into this year's of play.
Lifted in the air just behind the first base bag, collected by Ryan for the first out of the inning.
And another interesting thing that I just found interesting that Coach Oxford talked about is how he has already previously coached girls on his team, on Lincoln's team, and that was for the Tulsa Elite Travel Ball Organization. He coached Taylor Nichols, the Freeman sisters, his daughter, Lily Oxford, and then also Brinkley Morton. So already familiar with so many of the players playing in this game.
Many people may not realize it, but high school softball is a small community that's fed into by a lot of travel programs. So you're playing with a lot of players, against a lot of players that you know really intimately from years and years of playing together or against one another, as that's looped into shallow right field. Single for Ava Thornburg.
And for Eva Thornburg, that is a great piece of hitting on that outside pitch. She just dropped her barrel on it and did just enough to get it into right field to Paige Beeks. And let's take another look at this outer part. She just stops a little past contact and has just enough power to behind it to get a single. And for Paige Beeks, she was playing more in, took a really great angle to cut that ball off.
Callie Reether standing in, one away with the runner on first, fouls the screwball back into the screen.
And to go back to your point, Dorian, you know, we talk about how much the game of softball has evolved in the state and where it is at. And another thing that pours into it, outside of the amazing colleges that are in the state, it's also the travel ball organizations. There are so many competitive travel ball organizations within this state right now that just continues to feed, like the Tulsa Elites, the Thunder, the Legends, the Arkansas Prime, and we could keep going on. But it's so great to see so many girls playing at the competitive level.
The 1-1, line off the third baseman's glove, throw to second, in time! Able to gun down Thornburg as she had to hold up to make sure the line drive wasn't caught. A heads-up defensive play over at third by Amber Bryan.
And for Thornburg, let's take another look at this. This is a hard hit roped at Amber Bryant. She does everything to stick with it. And for Thornburg, you know, that's a little bit of a tough play. You have to break down and stop in the middle of the base path to make sure that it doesn't, you know, it gets down. But that is such a solid heads-up play by Amber Bryant.
It actually took off her glove over there at third base. Had to recollect herself, make the strong throw over to second. That's when you know it's a hot shot, when it takes the glove with it.
And she did everything to secure it.
Listen, as a former third baseman myself, I applaud you, Amber Bryant. I know how hard it was to make that play. I've been there, girl. I see you.
It's the hot corner for a reason.
That is true. 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Runner on first, as that was a fielder's choice for Reether. She does reach, and it brings up Ava Bartmeyer in the 9th spot. Up and in. Ava Bartmeyer, 237 on the year, 19 hits, 3 doubles, 18 RBI. Offered at the curveball and now down in the count 1-2.
And that's the right call there, as Bartmeyer's barrel did cross the plane of the plate. That's what you're typically looking for on a check swing.
1-2. Just off the outside corner, 2-2.
But Addie Purcell behind the plate, she did everything to get around that pitch to frame it.
The 2-2. Tapped down the first baseline. Easy play over there at first for Ryan. So Hackett able to get a couple of runners on, cannot bring anybody in. It remains 1-0 in favor of the Lady Hornets. We head to the top of the third here at Ferris Field. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
Get ready as Bridget, Julia, and the rest of the gang explore new recipes and cooking techniques.
We're all storytellers. You tell stories of our people through music. I'm diving deep into one of Mexico's most storied, vibrant states, Yucatan.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryan. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryan. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
The electric cooperatives of Arkansas, through their 17 electric distribution cooperatives throughout the state, is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS Sports. For more information, visit aecc.com. We're cruising along here at Ferris Field, already top of the 3rd inning. Hackett leading 1-0 thanks to a 2-out RBI by the woman in the circle. Kenzie Freeman doing a little bit of everything, as she is facing 7, 8, 9 in the Lincoln order. Lifted over on the right side. It will stay playable as Thornburg makes the grab. She's been busy already today, Sydney.
There has been a number of fly balls over there to Thornburg already throughout the progression of the game. And it's all due to the fact that Kenzie Freeman, she is sprinkling in her low rise, and she's getting the Lincoln hitters to get underneath it to pop the ball up.
Zella Pomeroy, 317 on the season. Takes a called strike on the outside corner. Freeman, the pitch right down the center of the pipe, 0-2.
And, you know, it's interesting and understanding, you know, what Freeman's going to throw, as Lincoln has faced Freeman prior in this season. But throughout the progression of the season, of the balls that have been put in play off of Kenzie Freeman, it's actually 63% is where she gets the ground balls. She only gets 19% fly balls. So not a lot of balls that are put in the air.
The 1-2. Fouled back into the screen. What's more typical of pitchers that work, it feels like, east to west and a little bit down, they would have more of a ground ball because it's more difficult to elevate than a rise ball is, as it's already up in the zone.
Yes, but demonstrating today, there's been quite a few balls that have been put in the air.
The 1-2. There's the drop, swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for Mackenzie Freeman.
JC Province.
And her drop ball, it just drops off of the table with such downward bite. It's not until right about a foot in front of the plate that it takes that sharp downward motion.
Well, Freeman's making it easy on the home plate umpire, Nathan McGowan. Around the horn, you just saw there at first base, it's Gene Bozer, and at third, Ricky Geiger, your officiating crew tonight here at Ferris Field. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Champions Weekend on the University of Central Arkansas campus. It has been action-packed over the last 3 days. Softball, baseball, soccer going on right across the street at Estes Stadium as that stays high and away.
It's an exciting time within the state for a lot of communities, a lot of just sports fans out there.
JC Province making her first at bat, the left fielder hitting .295. Freeman missing high and out. "13 hits for Province. All 13 have been singles. Does have 7 RBI on the year as she holds off on the drop. They say she went.
And on that check swing right there by Province, let's take a look at this. Her barrel does cross the plane of the plate, so she did go with that. If she would have held her barrel back just another inch, she wouldn't have been called out.
But instead, she swings through the offering, so all of the first 9 hitters for Lincoln have been retired by Kenzie Freeman. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is a 1-0 Hackett. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Support for Arkansas PBS Sports comes from Wendy's. Wendy's Cinnabon Pull-Apart and Vanilla Frosty Cream Cold Brew. Available today at participating U.S. Wendy's. Bottom of the third inning between Lincoln and Hackett. Let's take a quick look at the Lincoln defense. Hackett has been so aggressive on offense. We haven't had a chance yet to introduce you to the Lady Wolves in the field. Morton in the circle, Addie Purcell behind the plate. Around the horn, Kristen Rhines, Ella Pomeroy, Lainey Remington, and Amber Bryant over at third. We've seen her a lot already. Left to right in the outfield, J.C. Province, Remington, and over in right field is Beeks. First pitch ball to Morgan Coriel, who put the first ball that she saw into play, grounded out to the shortstop.
And this Hackett offense has been extremely aggressive early in the count. And that's something that Coach Oxford talked about. We are a contact hitting team. We are very aggressive early in the count.
Selectively aggressive here for Coriel as she has worked herself a 3-0 count. Coriel shows bunt, pulls back high and tight. Second walk of the day issued by Brinkley Morton. And for Morton, the first one ended up becoming a run. This one, the leadoff batter for Hackett here in the third inning.
And that's the biggest thing against this Hackett offense is you want to eliminate three bases because they are the type of team where they do execute and they do put the ball in play consistently.
First pitch ball on the inside corner. Hackett is a team this year hitting .426. On base percentage nearly 500, pounded out 371 hits, 89 doubles, 22 triples, and 25 home runs. Check swing foul.
Let's take another look at this check swing by Oxford. She starts to go, oh wait, nope, I don't think I want to.
Those are always the worst. Now Hackett is a team that also likes to run. And they've been successful when they put a runner in motion, a steal rate of 95%, only 44 stolen bases, so not some of the quantities that we've seen like a Taylor Tigers. But they pick their spots, and when they do, it usually pays dividends.
Or for Skylar Sterrett, that has 44 stolen bases, just
her
own. But it's the power numbers for Hackett that just absolutely pop off the page.
Tapped and snagged by Morton in the circle. Only play is over to first. Able to get off of the rubber quickly. That was impressive as she gets it over to Rhine to retire Oxford.
Okay, Brinkley Morton, let's watch some good PFP right here. Coming off of the rubber with the backhand. This is a ground ball that's just dribbled in front of the plate. But the backhand and spin move to gunner out over at Rhine. That is a heck of a play by a pitcher.
Pitcher fielding your position, but also there, how about the knowledge that she did not have the play at second, because oftentimes we'll see pitchers try and force that and then everybody's safe where that ball sails into center field as Mikey Freeman flips it down the third baseline foul.
No, you're exactly right. A lot of times pitchers want to get that lead runner out, but that was a very heads-up play, and it's understanding the pace of play. You know, defense is all about, you know this, defense is all about timing and the pace of play and just your internal clock. Sometimes it's easy to speed yourself up, but that was a really heads-up play by Morton.
1-1 to Freeman off the outside to short, and now they have, she will be, I thought she was going to be out. I will admit Morgan Coriel somehow avoided the tag. And Hackett getting away with one here in the bottom of the third inning as Coryell broke on contact. It went right to Remington at short. There's the throw over to Bryant. And she was, in fact, safe. That was a great angle of it.
That was a great camera angle by our PBS team. But for Coryell, we've got some matrix going on right there to avoid the tag.
As a runner, that's one of the worst feelings in the world because you feel like you're caught. That's a great job avoiding the tag. Lucky that she wasn't caught out, and this may be the conversation here, whether or not she was out of the base path.
And that's what I initially thought, is she would be called out because of being outside of the base path, but it seems like the ruling is going to stand as is.
Heads up play by Mikey Freeman because as that was happening, she took second. So now Hackett with runners in scoring position, second and third, only one away here in the bottom of the third inning. And it brings to the plate Kenzie Freeman, who doubled in her last at bat. First pitch ball just off the outside corner.
And for Kenzie Freeman, this is who you want to have up at the plate. She's batting .531 with runners in scoring position on the season.
Batting nearly as well with runners in scoring position as she is on the whole. .531 runners in scoring position, .537. Already raised that average here in this game with the RBI double in the bottom of the first. This is an opportunity for the Lady Hornets to break it open. 2-0. Hitters count, swinging, skies it down the left field line. Province makes the catch. Coryell will tag and score as Hackett plates another.
And for Kenzie Freeman, just another RBI to add. Let's take another look at this swing. This is an up and out pitch that she gets underneath, lofting it deep enough so that when Province made the grab, she wasn't able to make the throw at home, but that's a total effort by Province going and securing that in foul territory.
So 2 away. Freeman also tagging and moving to third. So Mikey Freeman on third. Aggressive base running already from the Lady Hornets. They've displayed it. And now another 2-out RBI opportunity for Taylor Nichols, who struck out to end the first. Check the swing on the rise.
You know, Dorian, I feel as though sometimes base running is very overshadowed by all of the other components in the game of softball, but base running wins ball games.
Called strike on the inside corner. I agree with you. Base running, you can run yourself out of innings. You can run yourself out of scoring opportunities. And so when you're not smart on the base pass, it can really limit your ability to what you can do offensively. 2-1 stays off the outside corner, 3-1.
And, you know, to go back to that play by Province, that was such a huge out. Early in the game, you know, I understand going and getting that out, but as the game was to progress, that's a little bit of an iffy call.
Back up the middle. There's 2 away. Morton forgot the outs. Went to chase down the runner over at third, 2 outs, had the easy play over at first. And Cindy, this is where you can talk about speeding yourself up a little bit.
It's always being in the mentality of thinking one play ahead, understanding when the ball's hit to you, what are you going to do with it? That's why communication is so important in the game of softball, of understanding how many outs there are, what the situation is at hand.
Mikey Freeman shocked that the play was even coming towards her with 2 outs. She was just on the move routine, moving into home as she figured the throw was going to over to first. They would be out of the inning, but instead, the Lady Hornets still alive here in the bottom of the third inning. Taylor Nichols stealing second base. And so taking advantage of some mental miscues early on by Lincoln here in the third inning. The 1-0. Rise ball misses 2-0.
And that's the thing about defense, is when your tempo gets off as a team, but also individually, that's when you get outside of yourself and you make little mishaps like that.
2-0. Brings it back on the inside corner. Beautiful screwball there from Reekley Morton.
Beautiful screwball on a 2-0 count. Just getting the corner of the plate.
2-1. Curveball off the outside corner, booted. And the throw to first not in time. 2 runs come in to score. The aggressive base running by the Lady Hornets playing dividends.
And for this Hackett offense, The base path, the way that they are running the base path is the difference maker in this game right now. And for Coriel, this is a solid piece of hitting with a curveball on the outer part of the plate. She does everything to let it get deep, just draws her barrel on it and stays on it.
It's a great angle there of Nichols turning the corner, diving in safely. As the second baseman Pomeroy pulled in a little bit. Not able to make the play at first. The throw to home not in time, as Hackett has tacked on 3 more here in the home half of the 3rd inning. They lead it 4-0. And a conversation inside the circle for Coach Engel and her Lady Wolf squad.
And for the speed of Nichols, on 2 outs, you're automatically ball to bat contact, you're running. But that was such heads up base running with the delay of how long Ryan over at first base held on to that ball.
We saw that earlier in the Riverside game in those later innings. Now Hackett finding themselves facing a 4-0 hole. This inning continuing. It started off with a leadoff walk to Morgan Coriel. Mikey Freeman reached on a fielder's choice. Kenzie Freeman plated a run with a sacrifice fly to left field, and then Taylor Nichols reached on a fielder's choice where with 2 outs, Morton tried to get the runner coming home. And this lifted deep to left center field. It's going off the fence. It bounces back into play. Runners on the move. Coriel, she scores. It's 5-0 Hackett.
And this is an absolute blast off of the bat of Thornburg. She got every piece of that pitch. All right, chest bumps all day long. They're applying the pressure. And let's take another look at this huge swing by Thornburg. It's an outside pitch that she gets her barrel around and has the strength to drive it off of the left center field wall. That is a big-time swing.
Big-time swing and big-time production with 2 outs, Sydney. 3 of the 4 runs that have scored this inning have all come with 2 away.
And that's when you know your offense is good, where 2 outs does not matter. 2 outs, so what?
Lifted, just foul. It's all about passing the bat. That's something that you and I talk about when we call the Arkansas games at the collegiate level especially. Hitting is so much about momentum and what you see your teammates do, and it just has that trickle-down effect.
It does. It just shifts the momentum completely.
1-1 to Carly Reether. Is now 2-1 in favor of Morton. Reether 0 for 1 today, reached on a fielder's choice. 1-2. Lined over to the right side, hanging up, but right at beak in her tracks. Hackett sends 8 to the plate. They score 4 more. It is 5-0 Lady Hornets as we head to the top of the 4th inning here at Ferris Field. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Action! Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family-owned, customer-friendly. Family-owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. Buckle up, everybody.
1, 2, 3, turn up! Whoa. It's going up in here! Let's go!
Congratulations to our Arkansas PBS Student All-Star, Isabella Immel of Mayflower. The senior catcher with a 4.0 GPA, and she plans to attend college to major in biology to pursue a profession in oncology. Congratulations, Isabella Immel. Go out there, do work, cure cancer. We want you to do it. We are so proud of you.
It's so impressive that there's already such a passionate plan in place to go out and do something like that. I mean,
well, and every player that we've spotlighted on a game that you and I have done, And I would imagine this is the same across the board, but it's not just what they want to achieve. They want to go out and help people. How many players have we seen they want to go into the medical field? They want to go into exercise science to help people recover. It's not just about them. It's about giving back to the community.
Absolutely, and just to have that impact and make a difference.
Called strike on the outside corner. Leadoff batter Hannah Remington as the lineup turning over for Lincoln. So this will be the second time through the order. And Sydney, this is where you start to see adjustments in the approach of the plate. What's the biggest adjustment that the Lady Wolves need to make against Freeman?
Attacking earlier in the count when she's throwing that ball that's about belt high, laying off of the drop ball and the rise, but attacking first pitch strike, going after it.
Remington went after a good one there. Foul tipped it into the glove of Nichols as she is down in the count 1-2. Remington grounded out to third to lead things off. The 1-2 on the outside corner, struck her out.
And that is a sharp pitch by Kenzie Freeman. She works lower in the zone, sprinkles in that low rise to get back ahead in the count, and then it's just the precise curveball that she throws that starts at the heart of the plate and just cuts at the last second.
Brings to the plate, Brinkley Morton flew out to center field in her first at bat. First pitch just off the outside corner.
And you know, you talk about facing a pitcher that is heavily going to throw the drop ball. It is pertinent that as a hitter, when you're attacking the drop ball, you've got to drive your backside to work to the bottom of that pitch. It's all in your lower half. It's not an upper half, let me drop the barrel on it. It's driving your backside down to get your barrel to the bottom part of the ball to square it up and hit that line drive. A lot of times it gets misunderstood of just let me drop my barrel on it. No, it's in the backside. It's in your legs that enables you to get to that low pitch.
Dropping the word pertinent. Did you have a 4.0 in high school?
You know, let me tell you, Dorian.
Showing off that education here. 3-0 as Morton, patient at bat, takes a called strike on the outside corner.
No, but the classroom is super important.
It is.
You display who you are in the classroom just as much as you do out on the field, if not more.
One away here in the top of the fourth inning. Morton with a 3-1 count. Chases the drop ball on the outside corner, full count.
And let's take another look at this drop ball. The effectiveness of Freeman to be able to throw her drop ball on both parts of the plate, but it's the outside that has been so effective.
Morton able to foul it off to stay alive. And you know, Sydney, it's so great. I always enjoy calling these games with you. And one of the things that I really love about the way that you call is the fact that you really explain. You take that first-person perspective and you really explain the things that you learn, how it applies to the high school game. And we've only seen high school players start to implement the things that you and I learned in college as the game grows. This is a 3-2. Right back off of the shins to the third baseman. To first. She's out. What a play. The old 1-5-3. As Coriel delivers an absolute bullet over to first.
And I hope Kenzie Freeman's okay, but like they say, teamwork makes the dream work. This is ricocheted off of her shin over to Coriel, and she does a great job of actually just barehanding it almost in the air, getting it out of her glove to gun it over to first. She's got a cannon.
Like I said, as a former third baseman, I am impressed by what I have seen from the third baseman in this game tonight. Both Coriel and Bryant over there in the hot corner.
And to go back to your point, I always love calling games with you because we're able to expound on deeper layers of the game, just not the surface level discussions.
Dorian Kraft, Sydney Parley, hey! Just in case you guys didn't know, this is us. You can't see us, but this is us. I'm on your left. Sydney is on your right in her Razorbacks uniform. And yes, I'm going to toot my own horn here. That is me on the left side of your screen with the 2007 ACC Championship Trophy.
And a ACC champion you were. Dorian played the hot corner. She had power in her swing and a really great
Well, we can't all be fast. Some of us have to hit it over the fence to be able to get those home runs. Dorian Kraft, Sydney Parley, happy to have you with us here on this 6th and final state championship game for softball here on Champions Weekend at the University of Central Arkansas in Conway.
And a little bit of a blast from the past. I'd love to see
I did dig for that. You know, it's been longer ago than I would like to admit. Kristen Ryan stepping into the box, 0 for 1 today. Puts it in play off the outside corner. Slow roller over to short. Throw to first in time. Another 1-2-3 inning in the books. As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, it is 5-0 Hackett. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect my family, and part of taking care of them is using a bank that takes care of us. That's why I use Centennial Bank, a strong institution for an uncertain economy. I know them and I trust them. They have a strong financial foundation, which means that my money and our future is never in doubt. Life is busy, and there's plenty of things to worry about. My bank isn't one of them.
Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We never gonna stop.
Southern Loft is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports and our Arkansas student athletes. Located at 3155 North College Avenue, Suite 102 in Fayetteville. Southern Loft, a different kind of furniture store. For more information, visit mysouthernloft.com. Bottom of the fourth inning here on Ferris Field. First pitch swinging, little number off the barrel of the bat. This is a tough play. The throw not in time as Ava Bartmeyer has a leadoff single.
And for Ava Bartmeyer getting jammed on this inside pitch, let's take another look at it. This is in off of her handle, but it had just enough spin that when it hit the ground in front of Pomeroy over at second base, it had just enough spin that enabled her to buy some time to get down the first baseline.
Second straight inning for Hackett with the leadoff runner on. Turns the lineup over for Morgan Coriel. 0 for 1 today. Ground out, walked in the third, scored a run on the sacrifice fly by Kenzie Freeman. Four hits today for Hackett, 4 for 15, 2 walks, a pair of extra base hits. Both of their hits have come, or 2 of their hits rather, have come with runners on. They are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position despite the stat line. And a 2-0 count to the leadoff hitter. Coriel fouls it down the right field line. Hackett's path to the state final. They beat Baptist Prep, the 2021 champion, 12-0 in the opening round as that gets back just over the screen behind the plate. And then a 10-0 win over Melbourne in the quarterfinal. And Cindy, you mentioned it already, but that 3-1 win over Atkins, the team that knocked them out of the semifinal 2 years ago. That was one of those big emotional wins for this program.
Oh, and Atkins just being the dominant team that they are with high intensity, that was a huge win to get Hackett to this state final game. And in that Atkins game for Kenzie Freeman, she threw 9 innings with only allowing 2 hits, obviously no earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. I mean, to pitch 9 innings with that much success, that's what led them to that win.
Listen, we have seen some gutsy pitching performances throughout this state championship weekend. All of these athletes and all of the athletes across the state, you know, the level of talent, you and I've talked about it, the depth of talent across the state, just so impressive. 3-2, drop ball, fouled away. And it feels like, Sydney, the more that we do this, the more talented players that we see, the more competitive games that we see, they just keep getting better and better.
Absolutely, and it's on both sides of the diamond. It's pitching, it's the defense, it's the offense. And, you know, a great portion of the girls of the games that we've called this weekend, they're playing at the next level at big schools.
Extended at bat here for the leadoff hitter, Coriel. The junior 20 doubles on the year, 4 666 home runs, 35 RBI out of the leadoff spot. Those are ridiculous numbers out of your leadoff hitter.
And, you know, typically for the leadoff hitter, you're just looking at that on-base percentage, which being at 520, she's getting on base a lot. And just that in itself, that's her doing her job in the one spot. And then you just add the power numbers that you just stated. It's pretty insane.
Junior third baseman fouls it back into the banner behind the plate. One on, no one out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hackett holding on to a 5-0 lead. They got 1 in the first, plated 4 more in the third. Payoff. Fouled away again.
And for Hackett, they are attacking the rise ball. They're doing such a great job of keeping their hands silent, keeping their hands up, and getting their barrel out to that pitch, which is more so the bread and butter pitch of Morton's arsenal.
Morton will head to play collegiately at Mississippi State. Payoff finally gets Coryell via the strikeout. Just the 2nd K today for Morton.
And after a strong battle, Morton ends up winning the battle against Coryell. Let's take a look at this rise ball. She clears her hips, gets her hand underneath it, and the spin. It breaks right before the plate, starting at the letters.
First pitch swing. It didn't even give time for you to finish your thought as it falls in. Everybody is going to be safe as Oxford drops one into shallow left field. And so for Hackett, this is where you want to be as Oxford off of the outside corner just comes around that ball a bit. Drops it into shallow left field. It will bring Mikey Freeman to the plate.
And on this play by Province, she did not get her body behind it. The ball was too much to the left side of her body.
So they have marked it in the books as an E7. So Oxford reaches on the air. Bart Miles signaled to start the inning. She advances to second. In stands Mikey Freeman, 0 for 1. Walk and a fielder's choice. She has scored both times, waited on the off speed there. That was some pretty patience.
Now that is an adjustment on the off speed pitch. So perfectly kept her hands back and enabled it to get deep. That was a really great adjustment.
Any young players out there watching, that was a great example of resetting, as that's off the outside corner, because the key to hitting a changeup is once you identify it, to reset in your stance and to let it travel deep.
Absolutely, and a lot of times we'll see young hitters, and just hitters in general, when you get the off-speed pitch, getting out on that front foot.
1-2, back up the gut. They run a wave around the runner. No play at the plate as Bart Meyer scores, make it 6-0. In favor of Hackett as Freeman comes up with an RBI single.
And for Mikey Freeman, she saw the battle against the rise ball, the off-speed pitch. So for Brinkley Morton, she throws that screwball on the outer part of the plate, in which Freeman gets her barrel above it and just drives it right back to where it came from.
Runners on the corners now for the Lady Hornets, holding a 6-run advantage. Kenzie Freeman, who has been responsible for 2 runs today, an RBI double, a sacrifice fly. A pair of ribbies helping her own cause, trying to add to that here. The 1-0 off the outside corner, foul.
And you know, one thing that Coach Oxford was talking to us about Dorian is just how locked in his team is, how locked in and intentional they are with every pitch, every game. And I'd have to say they are pretty locked in.
They certainly look that way so far. The 1-1 up and in. Hit by pitch off of the hand as now the base is full of Hornets. And I need to correct myself. I went back, I said Atkins knocked Hackett out of the semifinals in 2022. It was Ashdown. And you know, you're talking about this and how locked in his team is. He said he actually thought last year's loss to Boonville in the semifinal is what's made them locked in this game, because they had beaten Boonville earlier in the season multiple times and then lost to them in the semifinal as Boonville went on to win the title last year. And so they know that it can happen. Even if you've beaten a team multiple times in the same season, once you get to the playoffs, everything is different. So this team, he said, they are locked in. They are not letting their foot off the pedal.
And he just said that it set the example with experiencing that last season. It set the example for this season.
Laitlin Holbert, the courtesy runner, back in to run for Kenzie Freeman. She was stranded on second base back in the first inning as Taylor Nichols standing in. First pitch swinging, fouled back. I haven't been statting first pitch swings, but I would have to imagine it's close to 75% tonight for Hackett.
They are attacking first pitch strike all day long, and that just leads to offensive success. And I say it all the time, I don't know what the percentage is, but attacking first pitch strike more times than not is going to lead you to having a successful at bat.
0-1, fouled away. Listen, they don't pay us to keep the statistics. They pay us to talk about what's happening. So we'll rely on somebody else for that. So if someone is out there statting that, we would love to have you let us know. Good job by Morton here, able to get ahead on Nichols. 3 straight pitches, able to dispatch the catcher for the second out of the inning.
And for Morton, that curveball that she was able to so sharply break across the plate, it actually started more on the inner half of the plate and then broke about a foot off.
It brings to the plate Lainey Coryell with 2 away and bases loaded here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 0 for 2, popped out and reached on an error and scored in the 3rd. First pitch bounced over to the left side. Nice pick by Bryant. And a good strong throw to get the out. So the Lady Hornets load them up. They only get 1 more, but it is still a 6-run lead for Hackett as we go to the top of the 5th inning. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Vaping costs over $1,500 a year. So if you vape, there goes that new gaming system. Or that new mountain bike. Escape the vape. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryan. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryan. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
Welcome back to the 3A state championship game. This has been an offensive slugfest for Hackett. They got it going early.
They got it going early, and it was Kenzie Freeman that got things started. She stepped up in a big moment, lofting the ball into left field that ended up being secured and caught. And then from there, it was Mikey Freeman with the big RBI double. And then just to add more run support, it was the big blast off of the fence by Lainey Coryell. You see her give a head nod there. And then the driven ball that was back up the middle by Thornburg. It just has been an offense production all day long so far for the Hackett team.
The Lady Hornets cruising here in the top of the 5th inning. Button dropped. Good read as Coryell lets it roll foul. It was a nice idea, though, from the 4-hole hitter Amber Bryant trying to catch the Lady Hornets defense sleeping.
Very good idea, and especially with the corners playing back about back high, that's one way to get some offensive production going.
And the positioning on the corners has changed over the years because with the bat technology, it's coming off hotter. You have to play your corners back just a little bit. Not everyone plays midway up the line like Hannah Gamble does up at Arkansas, like I used to do back in the day. You have to protect yourself a little bit. So you're playing more like a baseball style defense where your corners is a great example there. Your corners are back depth. 1-1, lifted down the right field line, but just out of play onto the concrete.
And you're right, the technology of the bats nowadays with how hard the ball comes off, I mean, it is a completely different ball game.
You've heard me say multiple times, I'd love to go hit with an Easton Ghost.
Now listen, I was in that transitional period once the Ghost became a thing, and the second we were so blessed to have it for our team bat, I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep swinging this.
1-2 off speed, swung on and missed for the first out of the inning, the second time today that Bryant has been retired via the strikeout.
And for Kenzie Freeman's off-speed pitch, not only is it off-speed, but it also drops. There is such a speed variation between the drop ball that she throws with a little bit more oomph behind it and then the off-speed drop.
5th strikeout of the day for Freeman. Starts off Morgan Rice with a strike on the outside corner. Rice popped out to first base in her first at bat. Drop ball goes after. That's a good swing on a tough pitch.
Great swing on that low and out drop ball. She kept what I say, she kept her belly button, her chest on it. She got her barrel down to it. That's how you want to attack that low outside pitch.
Freeman able to get ahead the count 0-2. Hasn't had a ton of 0-2 counts today. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts make it number 6 for the Hackett hurler.
For Kenzie Freeman, it is just K's all day. Let's take another look at this pitch. The curveball on the outer part of the plate. She's able just to paint it on that outside corner.
Cruising through the Lady Wolves, order 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. 6-run Hackett lead as the first pitch to Addie Purcell off the outside corner for a ball. Purcell 0 for 1, grounded out to second to end the second inning. Highly touted recruit in the class of 2025 is Purcell. Patient eye here, 2-0. Purcell considered one of the top players in the state of Arkansas in her sophomore season. She played center field a year ago before moving behind the plate. Put in play to the right side, fielded over to first, 1-2-3 inning. We head to the home half of the 5th, 6-0 Lady Hornets. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we are dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
After years of dealing with extreme pain, thanks to visiting UAMS Health, I'm able to do things physically that I never thought I'd be able to do again.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
Arkansas PBS needs to add 2,500 new members by June 30th. If we succeed, we receive a gift of $45,000. We are just over halfway there, but with less than 2 months remaining, we need your help. If you're already a member, thank you. If you're not, your donation moves us one step closer to that $45,000 gift. Visit myarkansaspbs.org and donate today.
For a copy of any of the state championship games, go to mnmproductions.net to place your order. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Ferris Field at Natalie Schock Stadium. Dorian Kraft, Sydney Parlee, happy to have you with us on this 6th and final softball state championship on this Champions Weekend. This 3A final has been all Hackett up to this point, 6-0 in favor of the Lady Hornets. They scored in the 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Although Lincoln working out of a jam in the 4th inning. Hackett had the bases loaded, only able to push 1 run across as a first pitch strike delivered to the first baseman, Ava Thornburg. Thornburg doubled off of the fence in her last at bat. Two for 2 today, in fact, for Thornburg. She singled in the 2nd inning, doubled in the 3rd. Thornburg, just a freshman. This is a mixed bag of classmen for Hackett. You have the juniors, only a couple of seniors in Nichols and Coriel. That's Lainey Coriel, her sister Morgan, just a junior. And you have a couple of freshmen in the mix as well. You have Thornburg at first. You have Reether out in right field as freshman. Brinkley Morton still working in the circle. The 2-1 gets her to swing through at 2-2.
And when you have that good mixture of veterans that are understanding, you know, of the situation and have the experience, and then the freshmen that have come in and have stepped up big for the team, it's a really good balance of having that older and younger talent.
81st pitch of the night for Morton. Through the middle, tapped over to the right side, collected by Bryant. Throw is low, kicks up, can't be handled as Thornburg reaches on the error.
And this is one thing that Hackett's been doing offensively. Let's take another look at this swing by Thornburg. She gets her barrel on top of this pitch, rolls it over to Bryant at third base. And for Bryant, it was such a good play getting her momentum through it. It looked as though she slipped a little bit on the throw over to first to Ryan. Just wasn't able to get a handle on it. But this is something for this Hackett offense. They've been making the most of the defensive miscues.
And a lot of times that's what this game is about, is taking advantage of your opportunities. And more often than not, those do tend to come in the form of freebies, errors, and the higher that you get, the more the magnitude of the game, the more those mistakes get magnified and taken advantage of by your opponent.
One thing that Coach Matt Michael always harped on us about at Arkansas was the ability to just simply play a high level of catch. And the way that we would warm up, I know it sounds so simple, but the way that we would warm up before practice, before a game, that was the biggest emphasis for our defense, and that's just always been something that stuck out to me.
The 2-1 to Reether stays low and in, 3-1. I'll quote Bull Durham for you. You see the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball, you throw the ball. That's what the game comes down to. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. That is a pretty pitch there for Morton.
That low rise by Morton. She's been staying lower in the zone, away from the Hackett hitters, but that low rise has such sharp break, just enough to get under the barrel.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Throw back to first. Not in time as Thornburg is there. But another strikeout for Morton, one away as Ava Bartmeyer stands to the plate, who singled and scored in the fourth.
And for Morton, she just goes back-to-back rise balls and just ever so slightly climbs the ladder.
I think you've hit on a couple of good points when it comes to Brinkley Morton, as the bunt going to be bunted off of Bartmeyer's foot. She's in the box, so it's a foul ball. But you're seeing why Morton is a highly touted Mississippi State recruit going to play Division I in the SEC, which I will defend anyone to the death that it is the most difficult conference in the country. But it's the ability to throw the pitches on a multi-planal through the plate as that one bunted back. But you talk about a low rise and a drop ball that stays up, and so all of these pitches can be executed at different portions of the strike zone. They move in multiple directions, and that is one of the things that makes hitting elite pitchers so difficult.
Absolutely, and it's what's going to make her successful at the next level, is the ability to not only throw, and you just hit the nail on the head, and to not only throw the ball on both sides of the plate, but it's the different levels at which she can do that.
0-2 back up the middle, get the first out at first. It skips away over at first base, able to erase the leadoff runner. Not sure they would have had a play on Bartmeyer regardless. But they do get the leadoff runner, but the throw goes out of bounds, so a dead ball advances the runner over to second base. Bartmeyer now standing in scoring position.
Let's take another look at this ball hit right back at Morton. Very good turn to get her body in perfect position to get the throw over to Remington at second base. And here she comes across the bag, a little bit of some getting slid into to not be able to stay on her feet for the throw.
First pitch, big hack there from Coriel. Coriel 0 for 2 today, and ground out, walked and scored, and a strikeout in the fourth. That's the one thing about playing on turf versus grass and dirt. That ball is going to kick away a little bit faster. Lifted down the right field line, just inside, and it kicks away. It's going to get into the corner. Coriel is running. She's turning for third. She's being waved all the way around. Coriel to the plate. The throw not in time. Morgan Coriel around the horn. It is 8-0 Hackett.
And for Morgan Coriel, just displaying the wheels that she has, making the most of her pop-up to right field. And how about a 2-out, 2-run RBI in the park home run? Let's take another look at this swing. It's a drop ball that she just slices her barrel across. It gets in front of Beeks in right field, and then from there, once it hits the ground in front of Beeks, it kicks away.
Foul ball just off of the glove of Bryant over at third base.
And we talked about at UCA's field, such a beautiful field and facility, but it has that extra foul space. So when the ball does get into that territory, there's extra space there on the sides.
And there's extra space down the lines here at Ferris Field for players who are not super familiar with it, or people watching who may not be familiar. The purple is in play, and what a snag over there at first by Ryan to get Lincoln out of the inning, but Hackett tacks on 2 more. It is 8-0 Lady Hornets. We go to the 6th inning. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
It's prime time on your time. Get more of your primetime favorites each weekday starting at 1:30 following our PBS Kids programs. Catch up on all the programs you love, including Exploring Arkansas, Nature, Antiques Roadshow, Arkansas Week, British Favorites, Mysteries, and more, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. See the full schedule and all the ways to watch at myarkansaspbs.org/watch. Sustaining membership is an easy, convenient, and affordable way for you to support the programs you love on Arkansas PBS. Sustaining members make an ongoing monthly contribution from either their checking account or credit card. Simply choose the monthly amount that fits your budget, and then call or go online and we'll set it up for you. Your donation will happen automatically each month, so your support will always be current. Need to make a change to your monthly gift? Just call or email us. You're always in control. Knowing we can count on a certain amount of revenue each month helps Arkansas PBS better plan for the future. Call or go online to start your sustaining membership right now.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Legion Scaffold is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports, located at 1021 Hemlock Street in North Little Rock. Visit legionscaffold.com for more information. Bunt shown here in the top of the 6th inning. 7-8-9 due up for the Lady Wolves. It is Lauren Remington, Zella Pomeroy, and JC Province due up. Remington popped up to first base in her first at bat. Freeman missing low, evens the count at 1-1. The pitch tapped over to the left side, collected by Coriel. Dart over to first base. That is a strong throw.
And for Coriel, she has been a vacuum for all 6 innings thus far. She does such a great job of keeping her glove low and her momentum through the ball.
Blows a little kiss to the dugout as well. And listen, as a third baseman, I think it's more prevalent for third baseman than it is for shortstops, just because you're playing a little bit closer into the plate. That ball gets on you so quickly. A lot of times you will see third basemen come up and they either, as the first pitch misses low, they'll either double clutch, or a lot of times they can make an error because your brain tells you you have less time than you actually have, as you can see the runner moving down the baseline. But you have to remember that you can throw faster than anybody can run.
Absolutely.
The 1-0. Fouled right back into the screen. Did not miss that pitch by much, did Zella Pomeroy, the second baseman for the Lady Wolves. Senior standing in 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the third. 1-1. Drop ball swung through 1-2.
How that drop ball that just starts at the lower half of the zone and then dives down. To compare it, it reminds me of a Shanice Del's drop ball.
That is some high praise right there. We've had a comparison to Robin Heron with a rise ball this week. And Shanice Del says that one skips. Of course, Shanice Del's playing in the WPF. Doing very well with the Sparks, I believe.
She is actually this summer going to be playing for the Long Island team that was just established with Lenny Malkin. But interestingly enough, I did not mean to comp her to Shanice Delson this way, but Shanice started her career at Tulsa. Kinsey Freeman is a commit of Tulsa. Great program.
I believe they've gone through a coaching change, though, since Shanice was there versus now, have they not? Yes, they have. It's hard to keep track. It's like conference realignment. There's so much movement nowadays within the sport as the count is full to Pomeroy. Second full count of the day for Freeman. The payoff. Tapped foul. Freeman just a junior, so still another year to develop at this level as well before heading off to play collegiately. Three-two. Taken off the outside corner, and that breaks up the perfect game for Kenzie Freeman. She had not allowed a base runner up to this point. No still intact, but that is the first base runner of the night for Lincoln.
And we were not going to put it into existence, but like you said, the no still intact, but for the perfect game, that very borderline pitch that Kenzie Freeman just threw.
I'm pretty sure Kenzie Freeman will be happy with the state title, even if she doesn't get the perfect game or the no.
I was just about to tell you that she may have thought about it, but probably the perfect game may not even be crossing her mind right now.
A lot of times with players and coaches for things like that, they don't even know until you tell them afterwards. They are so locked in. But it does put a runner on for Lincoln here in the top of the 6th inning. J.C. Province standing in 0 for 1, shows bunt, puts it on the ground. It's a good one. The only play is to first. Another good play by Morgan Coriel as the runner advances into scoring position.
And for Coriel being on the hot corner, she is so agile on her feet. Let's take another look at this. Province all day long is getting the sack bunt down. She does a great job of keeping her barrel high. But for Coriel, just so agile over there at third and the strength that she has in her arm.
Coriel just a sophomore as well, so you have to imagine as she develops, she's going to be getting some looks, especially regionally with some teams, especially those moving into the conference in the next year. That's going to make things fun. Don't look at me like who? You know, Texas, Oklahoma, moving into the SEC.
I thought you meant.
Oh, no, I'm not that informed.
Like, wait a minute.
The 0-1 to the leadoff hitter, Hannah Remington.
Now that is going to be a doozy, and I agree with you because I played in the SEC. It is the hardest conference, and then you're going to add Oklahoma, Texas.
Listen, it wasn't when I played. The Pac-12 was still the power back in the day as the 1-1 misses off the outside part of the plate. It's a shame the Pac-12 is going away. I've lamented this loud and long. But still great softball. So many of these players you love to see, and we've talked about it on other broadcasts, these players that are playing here going out and getting to shine on a national stage, as we will see with Brinkley Morton going to Mississippi State, who put together a fantastic year, by the way. The Bulldogs shocking a lot of people in the conference.
Yes, and Mississippi State, just that consistent program that year after year, they're just so competitive and an extremely gritty team. So Brinkley Morton is definitely going to fit in with that culture there at Mississippi State.
3-1 count to Hannah Remington here in the top of the 6th inning. Zella Pomeroy worked the first walk issued by Kenzie Freeman, the first base runner of the day for the Lady Wolves. 3-1. So a pair of walks in this inning as the Lady Wolves trying to mount a late inning comeback here against Hackett. And it will bring to the plate Brinkley Morton, who is 0 for 2 today, but drove a ball off of the knee of Kenzie Freeman in her last at bat that ricocheted directly to Coriel for the 1-5-3.
And a very solid piece of hitting by Brinkley Morton. And just in the last 3 at-bats, what we're seeing from this Lincoln offense is they have made adjustments offensively. They've made adjustments in the positioning that they're standing in within the box, but then also the patience of not swinging at balls that are outside of the strike zone.
Morton looks at a first pitch curveball called for a strike on the black. So a runner in scoring position for the Lady Wolves as Pomeroy stands on second. Tapped, foul, 0-2. 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Remington grounded out to third to start it. A walk to Pomeroy, sacked by Province to put Pomeroy over on second, and then a 2-out walk drawn by Hannah Remington as the 0-2 chase downstairs just gets a piece to stay alive.
Just enough to stay alive. A little bit aggressive in this at bat on the balls that are down and out of the zone.
Pitcher on pitcher as Freeman steps off the rubber. The 0-2 off the outside corner. It's one of these things we talked about with the Freeman sisters playing travel ball with Brinkley Morton. When you're pitching against players that you know so well, there's always that mental aspect of it as well, because you know that I know that they know what's coming. As the 1-2. Tapped over to the right side, rolled to first, not in time. Morton legs it out. Runners go station to station. 2-out rally here for Lincoln.
And for Brinkley Morton, being down in the count, she gets a piece of this low outside drop ball, driving it enough to the right side of Lily Oxford over at second base. Oxford was more shaded towards the first base.
So the first hit of the day for Lincoln. Perfect game is gone in this inning. No is gone in this inning. And now the Lady Wolves threatening here in the top of the 6th inning. As around the base pass, Zoe Pomeroy, the pinch runner, is over at third. Hannah Remington is at second. And Brinkley Morton standing at first, with Kristen Ryan coming to the plate, who is 0 for 2 today. But Ryan, 406 on the year coming into today, 471 on base, 10 doubles, a triple, 35 RBI on the season. You hear the Lincoln crowd getting into it here at Ferris Field. First pitch, strike on the outside corner.
And for Kristen Ryan, you talked about the numbers that just pop off of the page, but again, with runners in scoring position, batting .460 on the season.
The 0-1 in the turf. Good job behind the plate by Nichols. Bases full of Lady Wolves here in the 6th. 1-1. Off the outside corner, 2-1. And a game that had been going so smoothly for Hackett up until this point. Now the first hint of a bump.
And Lincoln offensively has truly stayed the course in their at-bats, making adjustments.
The 2-1. Off the outside corner, 3-1. As Ryan showing a ton of patience here in a big moment for Lincoln. If you're the Lady Wolves, all you need, you're down to your final 4 outs, but you need a spark any way you can get it. 3-1. Lifted foul and out of play. That was a good pitch to go after, as it was down the heart of the plate. So 3-2 to the number 3 hitter in the order. The senior first baseman standing in, trying to get her team on the board. The payoff. Line into left field. 1 run is in. Another run will come in. They throw behind Brinkley at second. She is safe as Ryan comes through with a 2-out, 2 RBI single.
And Kristen Ryan doing what she does best, having that clutch moment. Bases loaded, 2 outs, full count. This ball's on the outer part of the plate. She gets a great jump on it with such quick hands. Her barrel gets out and around it, driving it to left field for a 2-out, 2 RBI single.
Lincoln has life here in the top of the 2nd, as they have broken up the perfect game by Kenzie Freeman. They chased the no-no, and now they have plated 2 runs. And the inning continues with Amber Bryant, 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. 1-0, swings through the drop ball, 1-1.
And in this game, it's all about staying the course. They've stayed the course on the offensive side throughout their at-bats. And the more information that you gain, the more that you understand what adjustments need to be made.
The 1-1. Swung on and missed, 1-2. In the game of softball, anything can happen. Look no further than last year's 6A title game between Cabot and Bryant. That one back and forth in the 7th inning as teams trading multiple runs. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Freeman gets out of the inning, but not before the Lady Wolves push 2 across. It's a 6-run Hackett lead as they come to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Civics education empowers us to be well-informed, active citizens and gives us the opportunity to change the world. Our educators have created tools for parents and teachers to help guide and engage children through the civics process during this election year. Discover ways to talk with your child about being a good citizen and how you can explore elections together with resources available at myarkansaspbs.org/civics.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I was actually right behind Jimi Hendrix's bell bottom there.
So the 70s fashion blocked your head out of this photo.
Exactly.
From bondage to battle.
What do you make of him?
It changes the game for my family.
I wish the American public understood war the way warriors understand war.
It's not just another job. You're going in a hot area and someone's going to die.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
1, 2, 3, turn it up! Whoa. What's going on in here? Let's go!
As the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics, UAMS Health provides orthopedic care, sports medicine expertise, therapy, and support to athletic programs, organizations, and events across the state. UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, with conveniently located clinics in Central and Northwest Arkansas. Bottom of the 6th inning, Lincoln plated 2 in the top half as Brinkley Morton goes back to work here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch swinging off the outside part of the plate, dropped in for a leadoff single by Mikey Freeman. As Mikey Freeman able to get to second. The aggressive base running continuing for the Hackett Lady Hornets.
Incredibly aggressive around the base path. And for Mikey Freeman, 4 for 4 on the day of being on base, 3 for 3 with hits. She gets just enough of this outside pitch. Such short, quick hands to contact, the extension to get the double out of the box.
Brings Kenzie Freeman to the plate. Ball gets to the banner. There goes Freeman over to third. Big turn around the back. She'll go back to the base. So advances on the wild pitch and now stands just 60 feet away. As Kenzie Freeman, who is 1 for 1 today, doubled in Mikey Freeman in the first, sacrifice fly to bring in Coriel in the third, and then was hit by a pitch as that stays on the outside. (2-0). Lined over to the right side, off of the glove. Freeman is safe. Mikey Freeman will score as Hackett gets one back here in the 6th.
And for Kenzie Freeman, that was great situational hitting right there, pulling the ball to the right side of the field with no outs and her sister on third base. Let's take a look at this swing by Kenzie Freeman. She does get jammed, but just gets enough around it to pull it to the right side. That's the situational hitting right there that you want to see.
Good base running there from Mikey Freeman. That was a great shot of it. Froze on the line, which you're supposed to do, and then advanced as that one found in and off of the face cage. Taylor Nichols. 0 for 3 today, a pair of strikeouts. A fielder's choice did score back in the third. Nichols shows a bunt, pulls back and takes the ball high and out.
And that's one thing that Nichols has been showing today, where she squares around a bunt and pulls back, and she's just doing that as that enables her to track the ball and see the pitch better.
Cue balled off of the end of the bat. This one's gonna be trouble. Great play from Morton, but the throw can't be handled. Runners advancing, there's chaos on the base paths. But Freeman will eventually make her way over to third. Excuse me, that is the courtesy runner for Freeman. So that is Leighton Holbert, who is running in place of Kenzie Freeman. She's on third, and now Taylor Nichols is on second.
And this ball just off the end of the barrel had a lot of spin on it, but for Brinkley Morton, getting off of the rubber and hustling over there to make the play, I applaud her effort. just not able to get the ball out of her glove and flipped in enough time to Ryan.
Those are always the toughest plays because they're in no man's land, so you have to try and make the effort. Otherwise, it will be an infield single. And Morton got off of the rubber well. I have been impressed with how athletic she is getting off of the circle.
She is so
Comes
athletic.
inside, skips away. Here comes the runner. Homer is safe. It is 10-2 by the Lady Hornets as Nichols moves to third. Hackett with a resounding offensive explosion here in the bottom of the 6th inning as they lead by 8 in Arkansas. It is 10 after 5, so 2 more runs for Hackett if they want to invoke the run rule. 2-0 misses high, so a 10-2 lead. It would have to be 12-2. Here's the rules for Arkansas State softball. Game ends after 3, 15 or more after 5 innings or beyond. If a team is up by 10 or more, that does invoke the run rule as that pitch misses up. And now the bases are loaded. No one is out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lainey Coryell draws the walk. Ava Thornburg standing in for Thornburg. It has been a good day. She has been on the bases all 3 times. A single, a double, reached on an error. And now with an RBI opportunity. As runners are on the corners, it's Nichols at third, Coryell over at first. First pitch swinging on the rise, runner on the move. Thought they might catch Nichols unaware off of third, but she stays put. Runner advances into scoring position. So what would in fact be the game-winning run is now on second. Lined out to left center field. This is gonna do it. Coryell being waved around. Hackett raises the title. They don't even realize it's over yet. That's the game. 10-run rule in effect. The Lady Hornets come out on fire, and for the first time in program history, Hackett are the state champions.
And for Eva Thornburg, she seals the deal with a blast to left center field gap. And for Kenzie Freeman, she was so poised in the circle in a total pitching performance. 1 through 9, this Hackett offense applied the pressure all game.
Hackett Lady Hornets, your 3A state champions. We're gonna take a break here at Ferris Field. Don't go anywhere. We will be back with highlights and the trophy presentation when we return here on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Action! Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family owned, customer friendly. Family owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. But look, everybody!
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect my family, and part of taking care of them is using a bank that takes care of us. That's why I use Centennial Bank, a strong institution for an uncertain economy. I know them and I trust them. They have a strong financial foundation, which means that my money and our future is never in doubt. Life is busy, and there's plenty of things to worry about. My bank isn't one of them.
Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
Vaping costs over $1,500 a year. So if you vape, there goes that new gaming system. Or that new mountain bike. Escape the vape. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryan. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryan. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
We never gonna stop.
Hackett was a team on a mission, and the Lady Hornets raised the state championship trophy for the first time in program history. They captured the 3A title, and really, Sydney, this one was an offensive explosion. They came out swinging early.
And 1 through 9, it just was hit after hit, making the most of their moments in time. And it all was in the 5th inning where Corey Yell, she got the big time in the park home run that just added more run support. We see the wheels around the base. She slid in successfully, and then it was Lincoln that fought back on a full count. Ryan got a big 2 RBI out single. There was 2 outs on the board, a full count. She found a way to drive in 2. And then this big swing by Kenzie Freeman to add more run support. Excuse me, it was Thornburg that got the walk-off. She had a 3-for-4 day. They didn't even know what happened at first and then realized Thornburg had the walk-off. But a big 3-for-4 day for Thornburg.
Big 3-for-4 day for Thornburg behind a 6-inning gem from Mackenzie Freeman, who picks up the win. She scattered 2 hits over 6 complete innings, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts for the junior inside the circle on an economical 86 pitches to pick up their first ever state championship win in program history. And this may be the final softball game of championship weekends, but do not worry, there is a baseball game on deck tomorrow. They could not play the 5A baseball championship yesterday due to inclement weather, so it has been moved. It is coming up tomorrow on Sunday. First pitch from Bear Stadium coming up at 2:05. The broadcast will begin at 2 o'clock, so extra innings, shall we say. We will extend the Champions Weekend here in Conway on the University of Central Arkansas campus. So for Sydney Parley, our entire crew, I'm Dorian Kraft saying so long from Ferris Field at Natalie Schock Stadium, where the final score is Hackett 12, Lincoln 2. This has been a presentation of Arkansas PBS Sports.